We are still waiting to get the latest guidance on whether President Trump will agree to an interview with special counsel Robert Mueller. In the meantime, the president continues to use social media to proclaim not only his innocence, but that of his son. Chief White House correspondent John Roberts has that story tonight. Good evening, John.
Shanna, good evening to you. Even on vacation, President Trump continues to drive the news cycle with single tweets that quickly become the most talked about topic of the day. And for a president who says he wants the Mueller investigation to go away, he seems to do a lot to keep it alive. In a tweet complaining about media coverage, President Trump scoffed at the idea that he is concerned about the meeting my wonderful son Donald had in Trump Tower with Russian attorney Natalia Veselnitskaya and other Russians. But it was what he added that raised eyebrows and again thrust the Mueller investigation into the spotlight. The president tweeting, "This was a meeting to get information on an opponent, totally legal and done all the time in politics, and it went nowhere." Democrats leapt on the tweet as evidence that the president's explanations of the meeting have been incomplete at best, at worst untrue. The ranking member of the House Intelligence Committee, Adam Schiff, tweeting, "The Russians offered damaging info on your opponent. Your campaign accepted, and the Russians delivered. You then misled the country about the purpose of the Trump Tower meeting when it became public. Now you say you didn't know in advance. None of this is normal or credible." While Schiff claims the Russians delivered, there is no evidence that they delivered anything. What President Trump tweeted wasn't exactly new either. A year ago, at a press conference with French President Emmanuel Macron, he gave much the same explanation about the Trump Tower meeting.
I think from a practical standpoint, most people would have taken that meeting. It's called opposition research, or even research into your opponent.
A few days later, the president tweeted about it. Most politicians would have gone to a meeting like the one Don Jr. attended in order to get info on an opponent. That's politics. In his Sunday missive, President Trump also again pushed back on reports that his former attorney Michael Cohen was going to tell investigators the president knew about that meeting in advance. President Trump tweeting, "I did not know about it." But the tweet did seem to go farther than he ever has in acknowledging the Trump Tower meeting was about getting information on an opponent. And it has raised questions whether seeking election help from a foreign national may have broken the law, or at the very least, that the tweets may give ammunition to Robert Mueller's investigation into possible obstruction of justice. The president's attorney called that idea nonsense.
Obstruction of justice by tweet is absurd. The president has a First Amendment right to put his opinions out there.
The other big question, will the president sit for an interview with Robert Mueller? Last week, Mueller declined the president's attorney's proposal to ask only about Russia, the election, and collusion, saying he also wants to ask questions that go to the issue of obstruction of justice.
We are moving as expeditiously as possible to make the determination and make our recommendation to the president. The president has been clear that he wants to interview. I will tell you, his legal team is concerned.
And sources tell Fox News the president's legal team may respond as soon as tomorrow to Robert Mueller's parameters for an interview. We'll keep you apprised of any developments. Shannon?
We will watch for your breaking news. John Roberts at the White House, thank you.
Thank you.